There we go. See, we're here, and it's only 1 minute late. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
We arrived. Welcome to another webinar collaboration with Conversion Chemistry, marketing agency near you. And today with our guest, Angelique Flynn from Whole Image Wellness. I'm going to be doing a presentation today called Wellness at Work. And this is really cool because it's actually something we haven't done here before, Conversion Chemistry, which is, well, I'm told this is going to be a little interactive. Part of the presentation is that, there's yoga and techniques and positions and breathing exercises that can be done in the workplace to manage, mitigate, and even remove stressful situations. Usually we just talk on here, but this is going to be more interactive and experiential, which I'm really excited about. So I'm here, of course, with my co-host, Missy Jones, not related to Jonesy in any way. We're possibly related cousins through your husband.
Who knows?
We'll figure it out someday when they cut our rings open, like a tree. I don't know. Yep, Missy, the project manager of Conversion Chemistry and marketing agency near you, and we're joined by our friend, our colleague, our client, Angelique Flynn here. You said the founder of Whole Image Wellness. You do a lot of stuff with that. You're an Ayurvedic practitioner. You're a yoga instructor. You're a Reiki master. And you combine all of this into basically promoting and practicing and teaching wellness and guiding others through that. And not just in the context of personal lives, but within work, which that's what we're all about with this show, is the entrepreneurial experience. So I'm gonna let you take over here and kind of fill in the gaps on the introduction here about what it is you do, and who you like to work with and who you think you can help.
Okay. Hi, my name is Angelique, and I am a certified Ayurvedic practitioner. And I'm going to explain what that's all about when I go through my presentation here. But I mostly work with people who have any kind of health problems or issues, and it could be serious, a chronic issue, or it could be someone who just doesn't feel well and they don't feel like they're performing to their best, and their doctor has poo-pooed them because they've said there's nothing wrong with you, your blood work's fine, everything's great, but they just don't feel like they're at their optimal. And that's where I come in. I try to help them make small changes to their lifestyle, their diet, their routines, and any herbal supplementation or exercise practices such as yoga to help them feel their best and perform at their best. And so that's why I feel like I'm uniquely situated to help people in the professional world as well as in the yoga and fitness world. And so I do yoga teacher trainings as well, and I lead yoga retreats around the world. But I also work in this way, one-on-one with people.
All right. So it sounds more complementary to traditional medicine than a replacement. Okay.
Yes.
Do you prefer to work with men, women, both?
I mean, I can work with anybody and children as well, but most of my clients are women in their 40s and beyond who are experiencing perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms. That's who I specialize in, but I have helped people of all, both genders and children as well. So.
It's important to have your ideal client profile without closing the doors to everybody else. So that's the best of both worlds right there. And I ask because very recently a friend of mine had gone through a series of like PT for like a knee injury and stuff and was sidelined from his activity for months and months and months. And the doctor said, well, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, we know there is. He knows there is. All right. So that, right there is like somebody I would refer to you for like, okay, how can we supplement what obviously is a medically healthy knee, but we know it's not, whether it's inflammatory, like there's any number of reasons.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I went to an orthopedic doctor and I said, I just need the testing, the diagnostics to tell me exactly what's wrong with my back so that I can heal myself. And he said, okay, I'll send you for the MRI because you're already doing all of the things that I would tell my patients to do. And that's the beauty of holistic medicine, is that you can, you can do a little bit of everything to focus on your mind, your body, and your lifestyle to create lasting healing.
And I suppose what little, I've delved into this, I've done personal training stuff. So I always tried to integrate a mix of everything. When we do traditional Western medicine, we're treating what has already happened, and versus the holistic and wellness concepts, which is healing from the inside and preventing that which has yet come to pass. So therefore, even that can be used in conjunction to, either prevent exacerbation or a particular ailment from happening again.
Yeah, it definitely, we try to get to the root cause of any existing issues and deal with the imbalance that way, instead of just slapping a Band-Aid on it with medicine or surgery, because it doesn't actually get to the root cause. So that's what we focus on with Ayurveda, is root cause. And then we also help people manage their health if they're well, so that they can have vitality through their senior years and, live a nice, long, healthy life. I mean, I think that's the goal for everyone, is to feel their best now and in the future, and make choices now that will help them feel their best in the future. And there's this Ayurveda motto, I guess we'll call it, that if your diet is incorrect, medicine is of no use. And if your diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So even when it comes to herbal supplementation, if we have to focus first on the factors that are leading to you to feel the way that you feel. And if we can remove any causative factors, you might not even need herbs to feel better. So, and herbs are like a medicine, just a one that you can grow in your own backyard.
Right. So then this head cold that I'm experiencing this week, we can correlate, even if we can't scientifically causate. It's because I'm very active. I play a lot of hockey, but I also, during the course of a tournament, drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of garbage food. Therefore, the weekend following, my immune system is trash, and now I have a cold because of it. And that's completely on me because of my ingestion fuel choices.
I can give you an herbal remedy for that after this.
I'm listening, and I'm heading right out to get it. Yeah.
You can take a little thyme, THYME, and you boil it up with some water until the water's by half, and then you take that water, you mix it with honey, and you take it like an elixir, like a syrup, 1 to 2 teaspoons every 2 hours. And I guarantee you, I can't make guarantees, but in 2 days time, you're going to feel 100% better. In 1 day, you're going to feel at least 75% better.
Can it be dried thyme, or does that have to be fresh thyme?
I mean, it's going to be better with fresh thyme, but if all you have is dry thyme, you can definitely make it work. You would just have to use a lot of it.
I'll go out and get the real stuff. And I don't, if Bree, my wife, is watching this right now, or if she watches the replay, she's going to be all up over me, because whenever I get sore throats is like my thing. She's like, oh, just eat some honey, like always. And I'm just like, oh, that'll cure the virus for sure. I know it does actually make you feel better, but it's kind of just a running joke we have. Well, so now that you brought honey into this, I'm done.
It's good for you. Yeah. Viral, anything viral, you can use oregano oil. It's called Oreganol is the brand, and they sell them in pills, so they're easier to take, but the liquid is way better. It tastes horrible. I'm really selling it here, aren't I? That's how you know it's working, is because it's almost like, if you're any drinkers out there, if you ever took a shot of 151, the way it burns going down, it's like that. So it's killing everything inside. Yeah. But even doctors will tell you, like Western medical doctors will tell you, it's great for any kind of viral issues, any viruses.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. Well, Missy, what's wrong with you today? What can you bring that we can have Angelique prescribe a holistic herbal remedy for?
Well, you got anything for being exhausted all the time?
Oh, well,
and overwhelmed.
More sleep. Oh yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about
that's what I need to hear.
the stress today for sure.
Well, that sounds like a good segue into you starting the presentation.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for letting me come on and share with your audience about ways that they can, manage their wellness at work. And it all starts with how we deal with stress. Stress is the cause of so many diseases and illnesses. And I have to start with a disclaimer that none of this is meant to treat or cure, diagnose any diseases, and make sure you talk with your doctor before starting anything new. So now that we've all agreed to that, this form of medicine is practiced around the world by 1 billion people. So it is for sure a time-tested practice. It's been our oldest system of medicine around for 5,000 years. So we'll get started here with a little meditation, a little visualization. So if you're watching this, you'll want to sit up nice and tall in your seat. Bring your hands to your thighs. Palms can face down for grounding or up for energy. And just close your eyes for me here and take a deep breath in and a full breath out. You probably already feel a little bit better. And now imagine that it's first thing in the morning. You're heading to work and you get in front of your computer and you open your email. And the very first email you see is a catastrophe. It's something awful. And that will look different for each person depending on your situation. But it might look like an employee who's called out, or it might be that your number one customer left you a scathing review on Google, or it could be that your supplier isn't going to get the shipment in time. Or maybe your computer didn't turn on and you're having technical difficulties. And just notice how those types of situations has maybe caused your stress to increase a little bit here. And what does that feel like in your body? Maybe you feel a tightening in your abs or in your glutes, you're squeezing. Perhaps your shoulders are rising up towards your ears, or you're clenching your jaw. Maybe your breath is becoming shallower, or your heart rate is increasing. So a lot of things are happening physiologically to your body based on this perceived stress. Now open your eyes. Now that I've gotten you fully stressed out for the beginning of this presentation, let me tell you what this is all about, what's been happening here. Your body has a response to stress. And we know this because stress is one of the leading causes of heart disease, and heart disease is one of the leading causes of death. So in order to avoid those things, we have to deal with stress. Stress triggers the fight or flight response in the body. And that's where you get all of that tightening, the tension, and the increased heart rate. But long term, it can affect your digestion. You can have chronic fatigue, and it can lead to burnout. And of course, there's all of the mental stuff that goes with that. So, anxiety, depression, or just not wanting to get up and go to work in the morning, which is, if you're one of those people, it's Sunday, all of your friends, your kids, everybody's having a great time, and you're already stressed about the next day, it's impacting your quality of life. So we need to figure out how to address that immediately so you don't take that home with you. The stress impact on individuals at work is what we talked about, the mental health and the physical health, but also it leads to reduced productivity. So decreased concentration, increased errors, and lower efficiency. You might be dissatisfied with your job or calling out more frequently, hence the employee who keeps calling out, maybe they're stressed out, right? It can also lead to interpersonal conflicts. When you're aggravated and irritated, you're going to display that to the people that you work with, but also maybe even at home to your spouse or to your kids. And then at the extreme end of that, we have substance abuse. And it doesn't start extreme. I work in a rehab for substance use disorder. And, half the people in there have told me, Angelique, I was stressed out at work and I started drinking more. Like it starts as a glass of wine after work to unwind, and then it's 2 glasses, and then it's the whole bottle. And before you know it, you might have a problem. So, this is something that, we want to get a handle on before we get to that point.
Sure.
And then it affects your organization, whether you're the owner of the business or, you work for someone else. There's going to be decreased employee morale if everybody's stressed out, and that reduced productivity that we talked about. But the employer is also going to have increased healthcare expenses and turnover and employee complaints and accidents and incidents. And all of that leads to fewer profits. So it's going to affect your organization if we don't help employees deal with their stress in a healthy way. So some of the ways that we cope with stress as a society in general is we make additional poor choices. So I want you to, it's hard to think about this in a Western way because we're not raised to think of it this way. But in the East, we think of the stress as heating. It's very and actually, if you think of old cartoon characters, when they were angry, their face would turn red and blow up and smoke would come out of their ears. So I guess in some way we do incorporate that into our society about how it's heating. But when you're stressed out and you're feeling hot and angry and you have all of this heat building up in your body, and then you add something in like junk food or alcohol, those are also very heating. So you're just adding more fuel onto the fire. Rather than helping the stress dissipate or cooling those hot feelings, you're adding more to it. So any kind of poor food choices or lack of movement can do that. Sitting for long hours, if you're the type of person who's at your desk and you're freaking out and then you don't get up to use the bathroom all day, you ignore your natural urges. I mean, that's not great for your body, right? And you might skip lunch, or you might order in food that is terrible for you. And you know it's terrible, but you're looking for fast. And so, you're having these processed meals that are filled with God knows what. And then there's the people who go home. Maybe they ate that healthy lunch, who knows? And then they go home and then they spend time on their phone, on social media. And I am guilty of this too. And, whether it's mindless scrolling or you're looking at things that make you more upset. Current events, politics, it doesn't matter. This will get your blood boiling. Why do we use terminology like that? Because you're hot inside your body, right? So we want to start focusing on things that can cool you down. Now, some people do have healthy outlets for their stress, such as exercise. And I'm all for a good, hot, sweaty yoga practice because I teach hot power yoga. So I understand why people go there. I go there. But when you're already heated, you might want to reconsider doing something that causes you to sweat, which is your body's way of saying, I'm too hot, right? If you work out before work, great. But now you've already had that stressful situation. And now it's later in the day when you're supposed to be winding down and relaxing. And instead of choosing that nice yin yoga class or that simple stretching class, you're going for a run, a vigorous run where you're sweating. That's just adding more heat into the body, and that's causing the body some distress. So, you can lift weights and you can run and you can do all of these things, but maybe don't do it on the day when you're having the worst day of your life. So that's kind of where we go with that. Now, if you are trying Ayurveda, you might be focusing more on a holistic approach to stress. And Ayurveda focuses on balancing mind, body, and spirit, also environment in there as well. It stands for the science of life. That's what Ayurveda means. And as I mentioned before, it's been around. It's one of the oldest systems of medicine. So it's widely practiced and studied and peer reviewed. And all of this is to tell you that it works. It works to help us deal with stress. Each person has a unique constitution known as your dosha, and that affects your stress response. There's 3 main doshas. They're Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And a Vata person, when they get really stressed out, they worry, they get nervous, they have anxiety. A Pitta person gets angry. And if you're stressed, you're hot, right? And if you're already prone to anger, then you're extra hot. And I know because I'm a predominantly Pitta person. And Kapha people tend to internalize their stress. So that leads to depression and extreme fatigue, not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. And when we balance these doshas, whether it be through lifestyle, food, or any seasonal or even daily routines, we can help to reduce stress in the body. And it depends a lot on your unique dosha, how we balance it. But what I'm going to show you today are some solutions that everyone can use and will work for everyone equally. So I'm sure people have told you before that when you're stressed out or when something is going wrong, to stop and take 10 deep breaths. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yes.
You have? Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I never think of it. I never remember to do it, the 10 deep breaths. But I have gone for a walk. That has helped me. So breathing exercises can help you to relax, as well as eating better for long-term health. But chair yoga is a simple thing that you can do to improve things in the moment. And I'm not talking about senior citizens in a community center, taking chair yoga. This is something you're going to do at your desk chair, at your office, in the moment. And it's going to take you seconds or minutes. And that's it. So you can do it in the moment, or you can do it throughout the day, however you need to do it. And we're going to do it together here. So the first thing you need to do when you are stressed is to handle your crisis. If you're the person who is in your fight or flight mechanism, and you go and you ignore it, it's going to follow you around for the rest of the day, the week, the month, year, whatever. You're just going to have to deal with it all the time. So my recommendation is always to handle the immediate problem, whatever that may be, and then do these things to help you relax and cool down. And I'm not sure why my screen looks like that, but I'm going to tell you what it is anyway. So the first thing you can do is chair yoga for 30 seconds to 5 minutes. And we're going to do it together. So I got you all worked up and anxious. I want you to come back to that comfortable seat where both feet are flat on the floor. Key is feet flat on the floor. This helps you ground. It helps you be like, okay, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm okay. And then you're just going to tuck your chin towards your chest. Simple movement. Good. And I want you to hold that there and notice how the back of your neck feels. So most people hold their stress in their neck and their shoulders. And that's because we have those creeping up muscles. When we get stressed, our shoulders start to rise. So doing this lengthens the back of your neck and can help you find a little bit of stress relief right there in this simple movement. And then I want you to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, but keep your gaze down towards your knees. And you'll feel the stretch here on the right side of your neck. And if you don't feel it enough, you want to feel more, you can just scoop your right hand underneath the seat of your chair, just holding on to the seat, and that'll help move your shoulder away from your ear so that you can create more space in the side of your neck. And then you'll bring your chin back towards your chest and over to the other shoulder. So now right ear towards right shoulder. Good. And if you feel like you get stuck at some point, maybe you have a crick in your neck and it prevents you from moving your head smoothly, then you can pause wherever that crick is and you can kind of floss your neck, moving your chin up and down. Good. And then from there, we're just going to go back and forth. So chin towards chest, left ear towards left shoulder, chin towards chest, right ear towards right shoulder. Never going all the way around, which can be not great for your cervical spine. So we're just going to take these little half circles side to side. And then you can bring your head back to center. Don't you? You didn't want to stop, did you? it feels good. It feels really good to just.
It felt so good and relaxing too.
Yes, and that is the key, is to keep relax. And when you start to relax your body, it works in the flip side too. It relaxes your mind. So after that, if you have a couple more seconds or a couple more minutes at your desk, you're going to focus on your shoulders. So we're going to take our arms out to like a V and then bring the right arm underneath the left arm. So your elbows sort of nestle together. Now this might be enough that your elbows might not even nestle together, and that's okay. Depends on your body structure. But you can bring opposite hand to opposite shoulder. And I'm actually going to keep it this way because otherwise you won't be able to see me. But the other way is to bring the backs of your hands together or the palms of your hands together. And this is known as your eagle wrap or your eagle arms. And you'll lift your elbows up in line with the shoulders. You might already feel the stretch just by lifting the elbows up. But we're targeting that area between your shoulder blades. So it's from your cervical spine to your thoracic spine, which is really a really tough area to stretch. And the more you round your back while you do this, like a little cat in your back, you will feel this stretch. If you want to move your elbows side to side or your head side to side, you can. But even just holding like this will be enough. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So you're going to release your arms, take them back out to a V, and then this time left arm under right. And once again, you can find your wrap, whatever that looks like. It might be different on this side than it was on the other side. And just breathe here. So this little thing you can do, there she goes. This little thing you can do at your desk will help you move your shoulders down away from your ears, lengthen your neck, and relax. Good. And then you can release your arms and just kind of shake it out. Now, your third and final posture, because I told you it was only seconds to minutes, is something that you want to do if you can close the door to your office. I mean, unless you know everybody in your office and you don't really care, it doesn't, or you work from home, it's fine. But if you feel like you need more privacy, you could even do this in the bathroom because it only takes seconds. So let's see if we can make it work with the video. You're going to stand up for this one. You're going to bring a nice little bend into your knees. Let's see. Boom, boom. All right. And then you're just going to hang over your legs. I'm going to keep my head up so you can hear me. But when you hang, I want you to think about letting your head hang as well. So if you're holding up your neck, then you're not really loose. As you're dangling here, you can bring your opposite hand to opposite elbow, or you can let your arms be loose like spaghetti. You can sway side to side. You can bob up and down. You can nod your head yes for yoga, no for no stress, yes again to keep it positive. The deeper you bend your knees, the more of a stretch you will feel along your back of body, and the less intensity you'll feel in your low back. So don't be afraid to bend your knees. And then when you feel ready, you can start to stand up nice and slow, rolling up. Good, until your head comes up last. Don't bend your head on your desk. And then make your way back to your seat. Good. So that posture is sometimes called ragdoll pose or like I said, dangling pose.
Mhm.
It is meant to release all of the stress from your back body. And it also is almost like you're emptying out your brain onto the floor. So you're letting all of your stress roll off your back and leave your body. And that's why it works so well. Do you feel better after just a couple yoga poses?
I feel great.
Awesome.
I definitely feel much more relaxed in my body than I did like 2 minutes ago. I can feel this difference.
It's so great, right? And it's so small. It's just like a little thing that you can do to feel better all day. And if you do that every day, then it will help you deal with the stress and how it affects your body.
And this does not take hours out of your day. It does not take a commitment to go to a gym. It does not take it's routine. If you can get up and get a cup of coffee, you can do this.
Exactly. No special equipment, nothing, no money needed for this. And it's even something, even if you have any trouble with standing, you can also do the dangling from your chair. You would just widen your legs and fold between your shins. So it's really accessible for most people. And it's a great way to relax. So that is my second recommendation. And then after that, I would say you want to eat lunch. Don't skip meals, particularly not lunch. Lunch should be your biggest meal of the day because the sun is highest in the sky. And so our digestion is strongest at lunch. So if you are a meat eater, really fine by Ayurveda, you would want to try to focus your meat at lunch unless you're super stressed. And then I might avoid a lot of red meat in particular because meat can be heating. But all of your food should be warm and cooked. And this is what blows everybody's mind when I say this, because we have been taught that salad is healthiest, but salad is cold and it's filled with raw vegetables. And raw foods can cause a lot of digestion difficulty. We have a harder time digesting cold foods than we do warm foods. And that's why, in fact, when you go on a diet, they tell you to eat a lot of raw vegetables because it slows down your digestion. So we already know that it slows it down. We just don't know that the harm that can do. So we want to be able to eat cooked foods when we're having this bad, stressful day. And I'll get into that just a little bit more in a moment. And then, of course, breathe. And we already talked about how breath can really help you feel good. So moving right along, eating to manage your stress, you want to avoid caffeine overload. 1 to 2 cups of coffee is okay during the day. But if you're like, the pot is attached to your hands, you're actually making yourself more tired and more stressed. High sugar snacks and processed foods, we all know that these are not good things to indulge in on a regular basis, especially not when we're stressed. Focus on balanced meals with whole foods. You can
We might have lost her for a second. Missy, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I can barely hear you.
All right. Angelique's frozen for me, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll roll with it. Something's reloading here. Everything was going so well up until now.
I can't tell you the horror stories I have heard from people. It's mind-boggling. Like like pills that have made them lose their hair, or, I mean, you don't know that what's in the pill is in the pill unless you're ordering it from a reputable company. And it could have heavy metals depending on where it's grown, where it's produced. So you just really want to order any kind of herbal products from someone you know, a local herbalist, or from a company that you trust. And they are out there. But not all herbs are good for all people. It depends on your constitution and your dosha. So it's always best to check with a professional before you start taking herbal medication. And then water, of course, hydrate. It's important to hydrate. But herbal teas, which are different than herbal supplements because they are just a basic dose. You're likely not to change your life with an herbal tea. An herbal decoction would be a totally different story. But herbal teas are actually more hydrating than regular water. You get your electrolytes better.
We have a pause again. Angelique, I don't know if you can hear us. Just pause for a second because your screen kind of froze on us here.
And count to 4. And that's a simple but effective way to deal with stress.
Angelique, can I stop you for a second? So
Sure.
Your screen kind of froze when you started going into this slide.
We have a bad connection because now I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Let me see. Well, I have perfect signal. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But I can't hear you, so I don't know what that means.
I can usually get away with not editing these.
Let me try this.
Would it help if we leave and come back in?
This might be better. Is this better?
I can barely hear you. It's kind of breaking up.
Missy, can you hear me?
It's broken. I can hear you basically, but it's broken up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me do this really quick. I had some things running in the background. Let me just make sure they're all closed out. So then that way. No.
It's a little better now.
Okay. I feel like we should be good now. Yeah?
It sounds a lot better to me.
No, we're not good now.
Right now, I can hear Angelique perfectly, and I can't see any movement from Dan at all.
Okay.
Like, he's all choppy in what I hear.
You can hear me or can't hear me or can't see or
I can hear you, Angelique. I can hear you. You're good now for me.
Oh, okay. You're still breaking up for me, but if you can hear me, then that's good. Did you need me to go back a slide, Missy?
I think one slide back would be good. Yeah.
I can hear everybody perfectly now.
Oh, I can hear Dan good.
Cool. Everybody do this for a second. All right. So that way I know where the edit point is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to keep going. Yeah. Why can't I hear you? Can you chat? Can you type in the chat if I should keep going? Okay.
I don't think it's any of our internets. I think it's the stream that's killing me.
Okay. Now I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. I just dumped LinkedIn since that's the smaller of the three. I'm on hardwired internet, so like I can't get any faster than this.
Right. But it's okay. If you can hear me, I'll keep going.
I might just at this point I might just kill the stream. We keep recording, and then that way we can replay it. That should free up some bandwidth a little bit here, hopefully.
Now it's stopped again. You gotta love technology.
Oh my goodness, it's always something, right? Me remove that for a second.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
So we can breathe. We'll just breathe.
Yeah, we're applying this in real time.
Yep. Technological difficulties make me apply yoga faster. All right.
So I'm wondering, I don't know if anybody can even hear me at this point.
I can sort of hear you, Dan. It's so choppy.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.